Roll out in the middle of
That's what
nowhere?
I was doing. I actually had a pistol in my hand at the time. I was really ticked off when I was having this fit. I was waving the gun in the air, okay, and I had this fit. And at this moment, I said, okay.
He was a Louisiana man named Montaldo. Folks around called him Six Gun Joe. Worked with ICAR, don't you know? Investigating UFO. Out for a drive with a gal one night, they stopped to check out the reporting site. When an alien lit right there on the ground, he commenced to throwing his weight around. Now, old Six Gun didn't take too kindly to that kind of thing, especially without Vaseline or anything like that, Seriously. Well, Six Gun looked that critter right in the eye and said, "Any last wish before you die?" Yo, reached for his gun, quick as a twitch, and said, "Fill your claw, you son of a bitch." Now a legend spread across the land about this pistol-waving man. But if you're from space or from Earth below, you don't give no lip to Six Gun Joe.
Tune in to UFO Undercover, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network. Welcome to UFO Undercover, with your host, Joe Montaldo.
Good evening, everybody. Oh, those funny little promos and songs we have on the network these days. That first one you heard with UFO Undercover, the first one that came up, Guys and Girls, that was made, a long time ago, 15, 18 years ago, by a guy who was trying to make fun of a story we were telling on another show I used to host called Wake Up USA. And when they sent it to me, I thought I was going to get really mad. I actually got the biggest kick. I just got one of them rolling Klingon belly laughs going. So I told him, I called him and said, "Look, I don't know why you hate me or whatever." I said, "But I want to use your song as my intro." And ever since then, we've been quite good friends. it's just one of those strange things. Tonight we have Jeff Weiner with us, and I met Jeff about a year ago down in Los Angeles, California. He was down there. He was one of the winners of Writers of the Future. And we're going to get to that in just a second. No, he didn't win. We'll get to that in a second. Whoever just sent me that post, just calm down. In case you don't know, we're talking about writersofthefuture.com. You can go over and check it out, or galaxypress.com. Writersofthefuture.com that's if you want to submit something, if you have a story under 17,000 words. And I would say, I talked with Emily and John about this. I would figure if you're going to write it like in a PG-13 format. They're really not into blood and gore and sex, so just PG-13 would be about the best way I could tell you to do that. But anyway, Jeff, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm good, Joe. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it very much.
Man, I love having you. And so how's things going out there? And since the other Sin City, so guys, because we have one in one Sin City and one in the other Sin City. If you can't figure it out, I don't even know what to tell you people. But he's out there and not in Las Vegas, not LA. LA is not Sin City. Get out of here. They close at 2:00. How can you be Sin City? I mean, on the weekdays, we went hunting for booze at midnight. Couldn't even find any. No, people. It's not Sin City. It's Las Vegas and New Orleans. It's the only two 24-hour cities in the country. There are no others. That's it. And I don't hate people. It's just how it is. So how are things out there? I mean,
I'll tell you, COVID's done. Place is packed.
It's packed. Yeah, that's how it is down here. I like to see it, man.
On fire.
I know everybody keeps trying to drag COVID back into the middle of everything. I said, look, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I said I've had it twice. I'm not really particularly worried about it now. I said I plan on. We're going to have a lot of people in my house this year for Christmas, and we'll have a lot of people. I'm going to. No, what do you mean Hanukkah? No. You're thinking of Jeffrey, the other Jeffrey. Anyway, yeah, we'll talk about that later in the show. I know y'all get confused on holiday seasons because there's a couple of season holidays that run over each. There's Kwanzaa, there's Hanukkah, there's Christmas. There's some other one in there besides that. So they all kind of lay over each other, and each one has its own personal beliefs, and that's how it should be because that's for the people who it's representing. What do you mean? No, there's one God, dumbass. Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to say it like that. They all worship the same God. They just worship it in different ways. Okay. Let's not even it's not a philosophical discussion at the moment. Maybe later in the show, but not right now. And yes, I will be giving a lightsaber away later tonight. So, but not at the moment. Anyway, getting back to Jeff. Sorry about that little went off on a rampage there. So, I mean, it's glad to hear it's busy out there because I was wondering, I mean, New Orleans is packed. The Gulf Coast is packed. I mean, everywhere you go, there's people everywhere. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I have been in a bunch of casinos in the last couple of months. And no, nobody's wearing masks. Nobody's doing anything. Nobody's sick. Nobody's coughing. Everybody feels quite comfortable. And,
the traffic out here is amazing. The strip is packed. The hotels are packed. They're doing a Grand Prix, the Vegas Grand Prix.
Oh, cool.
And they're selling, I think MGM's doing the $1 million weekend package. You can get probably a pretty good room with a view, I would imagine, and a lot of food. But yeah, there's a lot of money coming out here now. A lot of stuff going on. The Raiders are doing good. I'll be bringing a baseball team out here. They're bringing a baseball team out and building a new stadium. I mean, this is not a little town anymore. It's going to get big. It's getting big.
It's huge. Las Vegas is big, guys. I mean, very first time I went in Vegas, I was in the Navy. I was 18 years old. I was stationed in San Diego. We went out to Vegas. It was a little shithole is what it was. I don't know how to explain. There was a lot of buildings there, but it's not the Vegas you go see today. The Vegas today is glitz, glam, money. I mean, it's a beautiful place. You know, people get mad at me when I talk about the casinos, but I'm not. When you hear me going to a casino, I'm not always going to gamble. Sometimes I'm going for the buffet. Sometimes I'm going for the entertainment. You don't understand that casino is not what it was 50 years ago. Today, it's an all-inclusive package. Like a couple of casinos down here have movie theaters in them. Two-lane movie theaters. A couple of them have other things. All of them have fabulous restaurants. If you can't find good food in a casino town, you're just not looking. I don't even know how to tell you. I mean, there's just lots of it. And there's lots of good buffets. And, down here, they like to do the snow crabs a lot. And it's just lots of it. And there's lots of things to go see and lots of things to hear. No, it's not a sin if you go in a casino.
Last week was Cowboy Week, Cowboy Christmas out here. There was 200,000 cowboys. This is honest to God stuff. Like rodeo, serious rodeo. Stetson had its own pavilion. This was serious, really serious. The Cowboy called Cowboy Christmas, and they took over 200,000. It's a lot. That's a
lot of people running around. A lot of cowboys running around. Actually, John had told me about it, but I'd already planned on doing something else. But because I caught up with them in Salt Lake City, I would have loved to go out to Vegas and hang out. It would have been an easier place to calm my wife in to go, oh, let's go to Vegas, baby. She fit in the car. Right. It's we drove to Salt Lake City this year. The only bad part about driving to Salt Lake City is crossing Texas. All the rest of the states, I got pretty things to see. Texas is flat and boring.
Oh, I see.
And it's a day to cross the damn thing. It takes a day to get across the state. 12 hours. I mean, it's just a big, wide, lopping state. You feel like you're in it for days. In the time it takes me to cross Texas, I can cross 3 other states. It's amazing the difference in time. But we stopped off in Denver. We stopped off in New Mexico. We had friends stopped off in Arizona. We had friends in Sedona down there, so we stopped off and seen them. And it was just a nice trip in general. I came home, took our time coming home. Instead of coming home in 4 days, we took about 7. There's a lot of beautiful country to see between. Like if you drive to Vegas, there's a lot of pretty country to see, especially if you take Interstate 20. There's a lot more mountains up in that area. Interstate 10 has some, but you really don't see the mountains on Interstate 10 till you get to New Mexico. And I mean, like way into New Mexico. When you're going Interstate 20 or Interstate 40, whatever it is, there's lots of mountains along the way. It's lots of beautiful. Plus, if you drive at night, you get to see the firework. Well, let me rephrase that. If you drive at night between Las Vegas and Los Angeles, like on a Sunday night, it looks like you ever see the movie with the, it looks like that. I mean, all you see is a sea of red in front of you, and it's just weaving through the mountains. It's crazy. Like, it's the fireworm, people. I'm telling you, it's the fireworm. It's hiding out in Vegas. You know what? Last time I was in your area, though, we were headed to L.A. We stopped over. We were going to go see a friend of ours in L.A. because I think it's like a 5-hour drive. And I don't think it's that long, but we're cruising along the desert, about 90. And I look over, and here's 3 big buses coming out of the middle of nowhere. I mean, I guess they were Janet buses. I don't know what else to tell you because they were in the middle of it. There was nothing out there, people. We stopped and got video of this literally, and I got an 80 times zoom on my camera, just nothing for anywhere for like at least 20 miles. And all of a sudden, here comes 3, buses. I mean, nice buses loaded down with people. I'm still wondering where the hell they came from. It was just crazy to see it. And you can see it was a regular used path, but it was a dirt road. It wasn't a concrete or anything, or rocks. And here you go. They look like brand new. No, they look nicer than Greyhound buses. Whoever posted that, no, they look way nicer than that.
Was it like a tour?
They look like tour buses. They have nice, pretty tour buses. But I have no idea what they were touring. As far as I know, there's nothing out there but dirt. So I have no idea.
Out by Red Rock or no?
Yeah, it was no. We were this was somewhere. We were somewhere. We were not too far from getting in to California. It was just a long stretch of desert we had been driving on, just flat desert. Matter of fact,
Calico.
Yeah. So anyway, you stop. They had the rattlesnake signs up. Watch your pets. Watch your kids.
Right. Yeah. Calico mines are out in that area.
Oh, maybe that's what it was because it was crazy to see them come booting ass out of there.
Yeah, and then there's an old mine town. It's pretty well dilapidated now, but it's cool. It's a place to go. Like, I could see why they'd bring buses of people out there.
Yeah. I know a friend of mine, Nathan. I was speaking at a conference in Salt Lake. In Utah a couple of years back, and he took me. That we were going down to Area 51. He took me. There must be 15, 20 of these old ghost towns along the way. I mean, they're ghost towns, people. There's nothing left. I mean, there's buildings all over the place, but there's nobody living there. Stupid us went walking in a couple buildings like idiots, like we didn't get killed, but made for great video. And then we stopped somewhere on the way back to where we were, probably about 70 miles away from Area 51. We just stopped in the desert. It was beautiful. The skies were it was like that we were melting on top of you. It was just beautiful. And you could hear the coyotes hooting to each other, walking out. There was nothing else out there. And then way, way, way off in the distance, you're seeing this light little glow with these little white dots just headed to it. You knew what it was. It was Las Vegas in the plane, but it was way away. It was kind of strange looking. It really was. Y'all got some strange country out there. That's all I can tell you. A lot of weirdos live out and especially y'all people in Arizona. Y'all are all weird. I'm just being honest about it up front. Y'all,
there's a lot of your unique stuff as if you take, if you go north on the Nevada border towards, like going to cross over to Tahoe, up around up in Northern California, and there's a lot of abandoned military stuff. There's abandoned towns. There's all kinds of stuff. It feels like you're like driving back in time.
It does kind of feel that way, and I don't know. It's weird. People, all I can tell you is go check it out. Last time I was in Roswell for the 60th, and we left there. And we went riding all over. We ran in all kind of weird stuff along the way. And then we went and spent a day driving to White Sands to go to Carlsbad. We wanted to go look at the old testing range at White Sands. You see stuff sticking out of the ground all over the place, just abandoned. What's ordnance, people? Things they've been testing, things they're blowing up, stuff like that. No, it's not nuclear.
That's cool.
It is kind of strange. If it was nuclear, I'd be dead. Okay.
Nuclear probably wouldn't last. You could see it once.
Yeah, that's it. You get one glowing view, and that'll be the end of it. So, so Jeff, when you won, we're going back to RiseToTheFuture.com, people. So if y'all get confused while we're talking, so Jeff was one of the winners this year. Book 38, right? Yeah, 38. I keep getting 30. I get this 36, 37, 38 confused for some reason.
Me too.
But so John was in book. John, I'm calling about around. Jeff was in book 38. So first off, what made you? Well, I know your roommates with Todd, so maybe that was a little pushing. Was he pushing you to submit? Because he seems like he might be kind of pushing your ass to submit.
Well, yeah, it was a COVID thing. COVID had a bunch of business stuff going on, and then COVID hit, and boom, done. It was, I was involved with some accelerators out here, some business accelerators, and some funds raising capital for new tech and this and that and the other. And then COVID hit, and that was the end of that. So yeah, so I was literally. I mean, the story is I was literally sitting around staring at the ceiling, like, here you are at, my age, like, and we're at a like freaking dead stop, right? My daughter comes in, my Brianna comes in and says, "Dad, why don't you just focus on your art? You've been like doing your art." And I've been doing their covers and all kinds of art for a long, 15 years.
Yeah.
So I started focusing on that. And then Todd came in and said, "Dude, your stuff is good. Your stuff is really, really good." I'm like, no, it's not. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So he pushed. I submitted on it. He pushed. It's all him.
It's all him. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Todd McAfee. That's Ann McAfee's daughter. Todd. You hope you didn't hear that, Todd. Shit. My brain is malfunctioning bad tonight. But anyway, Ann McCaffrey's son is Todd McCaffrey, and that's who he's talking about, who's pushing. Because Tom's got a lot of energy, man. I like to give him trouble when we're at the conference, but they got a gala every year, and anybody who wins gets to attend this gala. They take pretty good care of you. You learn a lot. You get to work with some serious artists, some serious writers, depending on if you won for art, if you won for Jim. No, they take both illustrators and artists. So they're going to pick 12 winners a year. They might pick an honorable mention. They might pick somebody else but if you don't submit, you can't win. That's all I can tell you. And it is blind judged. So it doesn't matter. Even if you know somebody there, it doesn't matter because they're not going to know who you are unless they're familiar with your work. They're not going to know who you are. So when you submit, it's going to be blind judge. You get the people who go through it, and then they submit it to the judges, and then the judges read it or look at the art, and then they decide who's going to win. And there's 4 winners each category, and then 1 big winner in each category. I mean, in each draw. So 4 times a year. Yeah. So there's 12 winners. And what do you mean? Of course, there's going to be losers. I'll tell you this about Writers of the Future. They're not dogging on people. They're not looking for anything other than to help y'all win. They really just want to help you be able to get in the world and make a career out of this. That's really all this is about. I know people write to me about different things and say, "Oh, they ask you for money." No, they don't ask you for money.
No, it's not a money thing at all.
It's
very legit. If anything, I'd say that they're even more scrutinized than any kind of other agency, just because of their association with L. Ron Hubbard's work, and they're not going to want to. People are looking to cast shadow on that anyway. So
yeah, they do. They try.
Yeah, it's legitimate. They do a really good job, and they care, and they don't push any agenda. It's an honest to God, honest effort to try to nurture new talent and get it out there. And some of the people that have come through, like Sanderson and so on, they've done really phenomenally well. So the track record for this competition and being able to get above the noise has spectacular results.
It does. I mean, I've seen quite a few of the artists now get work. I've seen the writers get work. Guys, winning Writers of the Future is a step up for you anyway. So if you win this, because most of the writers and illustrators who are affiliated, that are familiar with Writers of the Future, know that the people coming out there putting out quality people. And that's what makes a difference. I know a couple of people came down to New Orleans, got jobs with the gaming community. There's a lot of ways when you're a writer or an artist, you don't have to think conventional, like I got to sit down and write a novel, or I got to paint this huge picture. That's not the world we live in anymore. The world we live in is you can go for almost any company and become a writer for them because they're looking for talent to write for new games or new movies or whatever. So there's lots of job openings for that. Same thing with illustrators. They don't have to be stuck with one thing. There's there's commercials, there's fun stuff. There's also getting in the gaming community there. And, there's just lots of ways to go that they didn't have, say, 20 or 25, maybe 30 years ago. So there's more doors opening now. So if you can win Writers of the Future, that's a step up. When you go in for an interview and you said, oh, by the way, I happen to win Writers of the Future, you've got one step up on everybody else right off the bat.
That's true. That's true. It's a legitimate competition. Black tie event.
Yep.
Stream. I think they got to spend $1 million on that thing.
They spend a lot of money on. Oh yeah. He's talking about they put on a gala Friday. They fly in everybody a week ahead of time, and they spend a week, going through courses, trying to help the writers to sharpen, help the illustrators to sharpen. And Tom Wood and Echo are just outstanding illustrators. I mean, I've seen a lot of their work now. I've had a lot of their work promoted on the station. They just do really good work. Tom, poor man, last time I talked to him, he's lucky he sounded like he could breathe. He was so damn busy. And but that's the thing, guys. I mean, these are people who come in and spend their time to work with these people. So, Jeff had the advantage of talking to all these good illustrators, people who have been around a long time. that really, really make a good living at this, it's a difference than, trying to go start anywhere. I mean, you're coming out, and plus, from what I heard from Tom and him, a lot of times they will recommend the illustrators to other people. I mean, you can't pay for recommendations like that. I mean, you just can't. So, I mean, it's just a lot of good stuff too, but you have to win. And the only way you can win is to submit. If you don't submit, you can't win. They don't go randomly pulling people out the air. And now, since I've joined them about 3 years ago, they have a much larger international group winning with them because my station's spread out across the world pretty well these days. So it makes it even a little tighter on U.S. people getting. So, man, submit, and you don't have to submit once. You can submit 4 times a year. You can do a different piece of art, or you might get a letter back saying, hey, maybe if you do this or that, and then resubmit it. And sometimes that'll help you to win. Same thing with the writers. Sometimes they'll read a book and they'll say, "Oh, it's real close," but there's and they'll send it back and tell you what you can do with it. That's one thing I got to say about them. They're not rude. Joni does all the winners anyway, but I mean, when she calls, she's not going to say, "Oh, you dumbass, you lost." That's not what you're going to get. She's going to, "Hey, it didn't quite make it. Try again. In the next quarter." And like I said, sometimes if one of the judges or one of the prejudges see something, you might even get in as honorable mention. So, and by the way, the winners do get money. The biggest winners get $5,000. I forgot what the other guys get, but everybody gets paid. But it's even more than that because when they're sending you home,
it's not a money thing. It's not.
It's not about money.
No, there's so much noise. There's so much noise, and there's so much competition that if you can get recognized by a legitimate third party, and that can look at it and say, we have all these people that submitted, and your work is the best or one of the best, then it helps get above the noise, because that's the big challenge with this.
It is. And that's what, and he's right. That's with almost everything these days. You've got to get yourself buzzing, but you've got to get where people can see and hear you. I mean, if you can't get there, you're just not going to make it in the business. But this is a big step up. This really does help you. I've been there 3 years now. I got to say, I've seen several people get careers out of this. I've seen several people actually come out of this feeling better than they went into it. So, and I'm going to tell you all a little quick story. When I was approached by John, that's John Goodman. He's the president of Galaxy Press. I mean, you have Galaxy Press. First time he told me about this, the first thing out of my mouth was, "You're so full of shit." I'm like, "Look, dude, nobody blind judges anything. I know you want, like, what do you get him there? You want $500, or you tell me we need $500 for this and $500 for that." And John was defending himself admirably, And I said, I've seen too many publishing companies in the past with scams, so they can make money off of people. So he just said, "All right, well, just take your butt and come out here, and we got 2 years winners out here. Come check for yourself." And I did. And I talked to a lot of the winners, but more importantly, no one at Author Services, Galaxy Press, or Writers of when I asked them a question, they answered it immediately. There was no him and hawing around. There was no bullshitting.
Yeah.
And everybody was there. And John made sure I had access to everyone. Yeah. When I mean everyone, I'm talking about everyone that had anything to do with this in any ways, because I wanted to know. And then I interviewed the guest, the winners afterwards, because I wanted to see if there was any kind of pressure put on them, or if there's not. And Mark, writers, that doesn't come up not even one time. You're talking about Scientology. No, it doesn't come out at all. You'll never hear it mentioned at the place at all. Unless you go asking.
I think the proximity to the Scientology and just is one of the things that keeps this thing on the straight and narrow. Like there's no deviation. They don't want any problems. They don't ask for money. There's no pressure. There's no nonsense at all. I think they're kind of under a microscope. I mean, by definition, right?
I agree.
There's some stuff.
It's a shame that they have to actually be put through this the way they are, but it does show that they are honest. They're doing what they're telling you they're doing. And again, and y'all know me. Anybody who's been listening to this show or any of the shows that I do know me for a long time. I don't take bullshit. I do my research. I do my homework. I wasn't the only one looking at this. I had my whole crew looking into these people. They're exactly what they said they are. Exactly. There's no huff business going on, no funny business. No one's asking anything. They're there to do what they're doing. That's exactly what they say they are. Because, I was working, I can't mention name. I was working with a publishing company about 8 years ago. And come to find out, I decided to drop in at one of their things. just to see if they weren't up and up. Oh, these people were lying. They were charging to get in. They charged for everything. It was ridiculous. Right in the future, that's just not who they are. I mean, they bring you in, they set you up, they put you in a hotel, they fly in from wherever you are. I mean, they were flying in people last year as far as Australia and flying them back. And when they fly them back, because they give you stuff and all your trophies, they actually give you extra luggage and pay for it so you can take it home with you. So I'm just amazed. What is that, Christopher? Yeah, the only thing I think that winners have to pay for is food. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, you pay for food no matter where you were.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
yeah.
What do you mean? No, I don't pay for food. No, that's not happening. But the rest of them, I'm just teasing people. I really enjoyed it. I've been out there 3 years. I look forward to going back this year. I mean, everyone out there is just fun to work with. There's a whole group of people out there that are they're really good people. They're kind, they're smart. You got good looking, intelligent, and kind people all wrapped up in one. That's hard to find anywhere. And these people are that. And they want to see you succeed. I've watched John, do other gigs with people, helping them get in places. And then there's Emily, which is John's wife. She's a workaholic, that poor baby. And I mean, she just never stops. And then you got the whole crew. And Joni, I mean, I don't know if Joni ever disappears. I don't know what they're going to do. Joni is. See, guys, if you win, ladies and gentlemen, you'll know who Joni is. Okay.
You will definitely know.
Yeah, you will definitely
You'll get a call
Joni.
from her, and she'll be talking so fast that you'll be trying to know what the hell happened. And then you'll find out you won.
That's right. You'll be like stunned. But what I mean by this, guys and girls, I mean, it's everybody I've talked to out there has been on the up and up. There's been no funky business at all. No one's asked anybody to join anything. No one's asked for any money from anybody. None of that goes on. What they do is you win, you submit, you win, and you can win. So there's quarterly winners, but there's also one big winner from each category at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So you can get in there and win. So yeah, you're competing to get there. I will tell you this much. The year before last, I spent a lot of time with the illustrators, and illustrators tend to be talkative, whereas the writers not so much. This year, I spent a lot of time with the writers and not so much with the illustrators. Even though Tom, I like Tom and Echo, so anytime I get a chance to go drinking with them, I will. But it's different because with when you're doing interviews with illustrators, a lot of times you got to pull the information out of. Whereas writers, you can't shut them up. So, it's just a weird flip flop kind of thing. It just really is. So I mean, oh wait, what we got up here on the screen? I just popped up. What is this? Let me put this where we can see this a little better. Maybe it'll. Well, why don't you let me open the whole damn screen thing? Whoops, it's not quite what I wanted to do, but I guess it ain't gonna let me blow it out like that unless it ain't going to let it. So anyway, we're looking at. So why am I getting feedback now? That's weird. Let's fix that. What the hell? Is it this? No. All right, I don't know what's going on. I'm hearing myself now. This is just weird, guys. Y'all let me know if y'all hearing double audio because for some reason I was up there when it stopped. So anyway, this is some of Jeff's work right here. So what do you call this? Do you name your artwork?
Yeah. So this is a cover for a series of comic books. And this is the second book, and it's called Stoic. Comic book series Stoic. Name of it Stoic, and this is Evolve or Die. Not to be too dramatic, but it's a comic book, so you can be lots of dramatic.
Now, these are cards, or
yeah. So this is using a combination of. What I think is important and is a transition and illustrator of the future, winner illustrator of the future, or whatever, is to recognize that we have new tools that are coming. And for an artist, because there's quite a bit of controversy now, Joe, regarding AI art.
Oh, I know there is, man.
So my position is my position is that it's just another tool. It's just like digitizing tablet or whatever, or a word processor or a synthesizer or whatever the hell it might be, right? It's another tool. It's here. It's like not ever going to go away. It's going to get a hell of a lot better before. And so I felt like I wanted to try to push the illustration portion, illustrators utilizing this new technology. And so I created these comic book series and actually created a whole site, aicomicbooks.com. We have
Yes.
well over 20 books on there from 10 different authors. And these books are between 24 and 45 pages of these are graphic novels. And on the art, most of the art is all generated, not all, but the art is generated through AI, software. Now, in my case, I utilize AI software just as I would any other asset when I paint or put together art. It just gives me more, I have more power, more storytelling power, and because of the speed at which I can get assets. And so my books kind of really demonstrate that. And so what I want to do in this book is this is all about a guy who, when he dies, he goes to the afterlife and has to and tries to find purpose. And he doesn't find purpose in belief, but he wants to find some purpose. He wants to be able to do something. And so he journeys to heaven, he journeys to hell, and ultimately learns that he defines what he is, and then moves on from there into back to earth. And at any rate, I liked the idea of bringing some of this mystical tarot cards in, and so I utilized these programs in Photoshop and some painting in order to make the cards that that kind of if you understand these cards, these tarot decks, the way they lay cards out, it helps tell the story.
Yeah.
And I thought they were pretty cool. And
So,
cool is important.
Oh, cool is very important. So, is it a whole deck? Because about a decade. Well, it's been long enough. I hate to give up my age here. About 3 decades ago, I used to read for the bottom of a teacup in New Orleans, and I designed a very special reading. It's much more evolved and much more advanced than like any of the other ones that are out there. And we keep it close to us because we only use it with people. By the way, people, it's a paid reading because it's a very different way of having your cards right. And I'm always looking for decks that really kind of make a difference in I'm looking for decks that don't make me have to work as hard, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's and so this is when I seen this was very interesting. So have you made them all yet? Are you still working on them or?
So I made 60 cards and then peeled out I think 5 for this book, and I'll just keep using them in different parts in different books because they tell the story. And I'm gonna.
You need to add another 14 and make a tarot deck and put that damn thing up for sale. Because I'm looking at this, I would buy it. I'm looking at it right now and I buy the damn thing. Well, because for me, technically you're not supposed to buy your own cards. You're supposed to have someone buy it for you. But anyway, this is a really great deck.
Because the card, I liked the art on the card. I like the tarot feel. I like that all the real detailed gold and faces and so on. And so I just basically named the cards belief, purpose, hope, fear, and the clown is doubt. So if you would read the cards according to what I read, according to what I looked up, which I'm not a tarot reader, you would, the card placement and the direction of the things should be technically accurate. If it's not,
well, this would be the start of a Celtic cross. So the cards look great. I mean, I feel what each one represents here really is coming through in the card. I have no doubt when I look at them, this is exactly what the card is saying, which is kind of nice because on some tarot decks, it's just they just use like the pentacles and stuff like that. You don't necessarily need that. This would actually be a better deck to read with because people would actually be able to look themselves and kind of get a message out of them, because if you were shuffling them and putting them down and mixing up the cards and reading them, they might actually still tell a story a whole entirely different story is what I mean. That would be interesting. If you have a completed deck, let me know.
Okay.
I like 60. I can probably get away with 60, but I think they really want you to do 74 or 76. I'd have to look it up to see. But yeah, Glenn, I know they're nice. It's the best looking tarot deck I've seen in a while. I like the way he framed everything. Everything looks nice. I mean, the colors are crisp. The dimension are very nice. I mean, everything's offset so it looks like a 3-dimension, actually kind of almost a 4-dimension world. Yeah, no, it definitely doesn't look 2-dimensional. It's got definitely a 3rd-dimensional effect to it.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, I do. I think they're great cards. Oh, what we got in here? We got some writing in here.
Well, this is actually the whole book. You have this is
Oh,
a
okay. Yeah. Oh, we cheating. We got the book up here with us. Oh, all
you
right.
got the whole bloody book, man. This is a 24-page book. It's
Well,
book number
I'm not gonna
2.
let y'all read it because y'all gonna be cheating. Y'all won't go buy the damn thing.
No, you can download it for free right now. It's
Well,
free.
hey, look, people go download it for free. Well,
Yeah.
there's a
Well,
couple people. Y'all can pop into the other chat rooms. So I don't have to be looking at 3 chat rooms, guys. We are on YouTube and all of that instead of Messenger. Whatever, y'all do what you want. I'll have them all open. It doesn't matter. I mean, you got a very good use of color. The depth is fabulous. Oh no, I'm not an artist, people. My art is confined to stick men. I can't even draw a hangman, guys. So get over yourselves. I'm not an artist. I've watched. I have all 3 of my stepdaughters and my stepson are fabulous artists. I try to get them all to go to art school because it was a natural gift. But that's not what they wanted to do. They all picked different careers, but really, so look, people, if you're a good artist, and I'm gonna tell you a little secret. Don't ask mom and dad if you're a good artist. Okay, give it to some of your friends, especially some of your friends that might be mean, because they'll tell you the truth, and then you'll know if you need to change something. But when I do something like when I'm working on something for the station, sometimes, or when I'm putting up a new show, so a lot of times I will send it out on the network across the network to let a lot of people look at it, so I get the feedback to see if it's a show I actually want to add to my network. But it's the same thing when you're doing art or books. I mean, Todd's got a good critic. I mean, Jeff's got a good critic with Todd, so it's a little different. But a lot of people, your mom and dad's gonna probably, oh, it looks so great. My ass. You don't know if that's true or not. So go get other people. I'm just trying to save y'all some embarrassment. Is all I'm trying to do here. I mean, if you get people to look at it outside of your immediate family, if so, like if you had to go store, hey, look what I designed. What you think? And whatever. It's an it's just an opinion, and they say, oh, that looks really pretty, and then you get a couple of good opinions. One that helps build confidence, and 2, you might know you're on the right path. Now, if everybody kind of cringes and looks back, you might need to do a little work on it. Well, like I
yeah.
said,
The
Jeff's got
reality
Todd
is
as a
pretty
critic.
cold. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, Todd writes, guys. No, but he knows his way around art pretty well, too. Well, his mom was Anne McCaffrey. What do you think? That's why he's a writer. Um,
Yeah.
Todd's a lot of fun.
Todd's been in God mode the last couple of weeks. You think he's put out 120,000 words or something ridiculous.
Jesus. Yeah, he's a writer, guys. He writes a lot. Well, you look him up, so I can tell you he's got a lot of stuff out there. He's not hard to find. Look his mom up. You'll find that she was a prolific writer as well. So there's lots of stuff out there. Oh, you mean who is he? Oh no, he was talking about the twins. That's his 2 daughters. They're brilliant, by the way. I met them in L.A. this year. They're both of them. They're twinsies, but they're kind of opposites, and they're both brilliant.
They're twins, and they write with Todd. The Twin Soul series they wrote with Todd. Todd is in the top. I mean, all 20 books are in the top top 50 in their category for the last 18 months.
He's an excellent writer, and no, they're grown women. I mean, they're not kids, but I mean, they're look. I got to talk to both of them about several different things while we sat there and talked. We were waiting on cocktails or dinner or whatever, and I got to talk to them, and they're gifted. Maybe they get it from their daddy. I mean, they're gifted though. Not everybody's gifted. Not everybody. Well, my son is a pretty good writer, but he'll never submit anything. I've been trying to get him to write, but I started writing myself because of what I've learned. I spent 2 years now with these people, and I spent the whole year with the whole week with the writers this year. It actually did help me to get rid of a little writer's block. But I'm not trying to write to win. I'm just writing for therapy. That's all I can say. It's I'm just trying to learn the thing. Everybody keeps writing, tells me to put out these books, and because of some of our research, and maybe one day I'll actually do it. But we leave it to the pros, and they're much better than I am at this. I love we're going through the. Oh, look at this one.
Do you have Adobe PDF and Adobe Adobe Reader for PDF? Do you?
Do I have it on this computer? This is a new computer I set up just for doing. I might not have it on this one. I know it's on the other one, but let me look around and see what's on this computer. I just picked this one up a few months. Let's go. Where am I? Am I on 11? I forgot what system I'm in. Damn. Okay, hold on a second. Yeah, right now I'm running well, what's her face doing up here? That's Jody Lanai popped up on my screen for some reason. She's one of the judges, guys. She did a little writing with Ann too. Where the hell is this? Why won't it let me find anything on my computer? Let's try it like this. All right, Adobe. Let's see. We got Office on here. Let's see. We got Office videos, Office music, desktop downloads. No, I don't think I got it on this. There's not much on this computer yet.
There should be an Acrobat reader. They're generally the readers are free.
Yeah, no, it's usually on my computer. So I don't know why it's not showing up on here. What the hell? Desktop, no, it's not there. Downloads, I don't care about that. Documents, no. No, don't care about any of that. No, we don't care about pictures. This PC, that's what we're looking for. Man, this thing ain't got nothing on it. I didn't realize this. I'm gonna have to go and update this whole damn computer. Can't believe it don't even have my regular Office on here. Wow, okay. This is a little weird.
I put the link in the chat if you want to load it.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this out. Let me get this out the way. Let me move this out the way. Let me get over here. Pop up the chat. Comments. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, the private chat inside is.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get it to go.
Oh, gotcha.
Come on, go to private. All right, now. Oh man, we have one of these kind of days with this thing. That's a problem. Where anytime I get a new computer, I got to relearn everything on it. Now there it is. All right.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It takes time to get it configured the way you want.
Yeah, well, this is actually the 8. This is the 12 core, and it's got about 4 terabytes of memory, and it's got all kind of wonderful stuff in it. But what I've been doing is my 8 core, which is one of my older machines. I think it's almost 12 years old now. I've been slowly but surely transferring everything over here, and I should have realized it because I was looking for something the other day, wouldn't pop open, and I bet you it was because I didn't have Adobe. And it's weird because Microsoft usually puts Adobe on the damn things for you.
Yeah, the file sizes, like for this work, the file sizes on these books is so huge. You'll fill up 5 terabytes in no time, and that's a lot. 5 terabytes is a lot.
Oh, terabytes a lot. I try to. Currently, right now in archives, I'm running about 17 terabytes. I've got two hard drives sitting over there. They're both 5 terabytes each, and then each computer holds probably. The main one holds 11 terabytes, and then this one here, I think when I said 5 or 7, and then I add an external drive to them so I can start putting things on external because you never know when something might freak out and blow up something.
That's the problem with the size of them. Once you load up the big 5, unless you've got one of the like size or bigger, you're vulnerable, even though it feels like you're backing it up to begin with. But the backup is vulnerable. So
currently, our archives span 3 computers, but it's more than that. We also have them backed up on places like SoundCloud and YouTube and places like that. Go ahead and install. And
you guys probably have a network server. I know we
do. I have well, I have a where is it at? It's this has got a Xeon. These are Xeon chips on the in-house server, but yeah, if you don't have a Xeon, people don't even worry about it. You're not going to know what it is, so don't worry about it. And it's too hard to explain the difference between Xeons and regular chips. All I can tell you is if you buy a 12-core Microsoft made Generation 9 and a Xeon Generation 5, it's going to whoop the 9's ass every time. It's they're workhorse chips. That's what they're made for. They're made to work hard
for data centers.
Yeah, and I had a rack system, but I got rid of it because I kept having heating problems with the rack system, so I got rid of it. No, don't cancel. Just tell me when you're done uploading thing. But, John, I think John Goodwin just said hi.
So yeah, there's a network. We have a network server that basically is on Ethernet. Lets you back up everything on the network to the Ethernet drive, central Ethernet drive. It's good. It's just slow as hell, but it's good. I mean, they'll put 20 terabytes of storage, but it's slow. It's like crazy slow. It's like aggravating slow.
No, I've had a couple of them all days. I've been every year I try to update it a little bit faster. And just recently I got 2 8.1 machines in here run like beasts, but Microsoft said they're not going to, after the first of the year, they're not going to be updating them anymore. So I'm not a big fan of 10 or 11, so I'll have to migrate by bitching. I look at all of Microsoft stuff. XP was good. 8.1 was fabulous. 10 is just a hunk of junk. 11 Pro hopefully is going to be better. because I got 11 on 2 of these machines, but they're kind of sketchy.
You know, eight is the one that put the tanked Ballmer's career. Eight general commercially, people thought that was a freaking disaster
It was because of the dual screens.
and they decided he was going to put a mobile system and a desktop together all in one, and that may have been right, but you better bring it out at the right time. Bring it out at the wrong time, and
that's why they brought out 8.1, because too many people wanted their old screen back. That's why 8.1 came out. It's just people were looking at this screen like, what is this? Where is anything? You know, I've said this before. When companies make big changes like this, they should kind of feel you out ahead of time. Maybe send you out some information, say, hey, it's going to change like this or that or this. Desktops aren't really mean to be, or are really not meant to be like your telephone. They're meant to do a lot more work. There's things I just can't do on my phone or my pad. All right, why ain't this thing down? Now I'm watching you download. How long does this thing take the damn download? Yeah, no, we're not checking for updates. We're looking for the download. Well, I don't know. For some reason, it's being I'm not going to say what on the air. No, just watch you download. Where'd you go? Oh, see, that's why I hate this computer, people. It's a newbie, and I'm going to hate it for a long time until it behaves itself. Maybe put it on. There it is. I was looking because, it should instantly put an icon on my desktop. Oh, what we got going on here now? Let's minimize this.
Have you been following while it's loading up? Have you been following any of the new chatbots, especially Chat GPT?
No, I try to. I usually follow all of that, but I get so little time to do anything anymore. That's like today.
I met Don and Emily when they were down here last week. Well, they were at dinner with the kids, and I showed them that the chatbots are the chatbot now. There's a chatbot release called Chat GPT, which was released I think 2 weeks ago now, but if you go, you say, I wrote you put text, you write it to prompt. So I wrote, give me a story about a blue bear and a cricket on a hero's journey through the forest. And then it wrote up a 500-word story on it was a hero's journey about how the cricket didn't have to accept the fact that the cricket was the hero, and it went on and on and on. Anyways, it wrote the story. That same chatbot is also writing code. Is writing CSS code. So all of this stuff, all this AI stuff has come in with vigor, and which is cool, right? Because it's enabling people enables you to do things
that you couldn't do.
That you couldn't do. And I think it scares a lot of people. It's scaring a lot of people because they're feeling threatened for their jobs and so on. But really, the machine is only going to do what you tell it. So the creative has to be there. It really creates opportunities to delineate creative in new ways. And that was part of the purpose of this AI comic books.
Well, we were talking about AI the other night because there's been a lot of warnings about different kinds of AI, and and I think people have been watching too much Star Trek. Or it's not that I don't think one day, 1,000 years from now, it couldn't be a problem, but the way AI is designed now, it's specific, and what I mean by that, so like Tesla's AI, he's going to have true AI in his car, but it's really only going to learn about the car. It's not going to have the outside sources to be able to learn about people and other things. It'll be specific, and most of the AI will be. And no, they're not going to let AI run our nuclear missile system. Don't even worry about that.
I can tell you that this AI is really machine learning. It has no memory. It's a bot. You enter in and you tell it to do something, and it does it, and then it's completed, and it doesn't remember anything. There's no memory. It's basically it's machine learning. It's massive and complicated, and the concept of the stable diffusion behind it is phenomenal. The guys that figured it out, or the people that figured it out, it's crazy how amazing it is. But there's no. It's just looking at it's a big giant calculator. It's not an intelligent. There's no, because there's no memory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and well, people, when there's no memory, it can only learn X amount, and then it kind of forfeits back. Let me see if I can pull this one out right quick and pull this one in. Let's see,
Yeah. So
present.
if this little bot's going to run, AI bot's going to run for 30 seconds, it runs for 30 seconds and it's gone. And then it runs for 30 seconds and it's gone.
Yeah, people, no, stop worrying about. They're not going to look. If you want to worry about somebody nuking us, you better worry about Putin. AI is a long ways from nuking us. Y'all keep worrying about, we're gonna get nuked. I'm like, no, we're not getting nuked.
No,
And I'm not getting nuked. I'm not even in a place where they want to nuke in the first place. So you now on y'all people. That's all I got to tell y'all.
No, dude, we're gonna put semi-automatic weapons on the back of those Boston Dynamic dogs and send them into the streets in Seattle and make sure that things stay calm, just kind of like RoboCop, only for real.
Yeah, I don't. People get so paranoid, worried about everything these days, and there's so many other things to be worried about besides AI at the moment. I'm not saying people that maybe in the future AI might be a problem, but as long as you put Asimov's law in it and you keep it to what general, I don't think you don't have to worry about it. Now, if you let it take over the whole world and do all our computers, yeah, of course it's going to learn at a rate that we can't keep up with. But I don't think anybody feels comfortable with that at the time. So why won't it let me present these? Let's see. Let's try it this way.
Okay, if you want to just really, really phenomenal stuff, take a look at the presentation that Elon Musk did with the neural net and the electrodes that are directly implanted into the brain.
Oh, don't even go there. Now you're going to have people writing in all night now. So a friend of mine gets on to me about this the other day. She goes, they're putting chips in people's heads. I'm like, Elon's they're going to take your body over. I'm like, I said, they originally started putting chips in people's body because they want to see if they can make, arms and legs and stuff move by a chip, by electric control. And I said, there's other reasons why. I said, but it all started over a guy, I think it was in 94 or 96. He stuck a microchip in his head, had it surgically implanted and part of the memory, and wanted to see if there was any way to get memories onto a hard chip. Everybody said he was crazy. Well, guess what? When they plugged the chip in, his freaking memories were there. So that was the real start of this. They realized that they could start to do this. Now, do you know, people, if you can upload all what's in your brain onto a chip and your body gets messed up and you can go stick it into another computer and download it into a new body, that changes the parameters of life in a big way.
They call those sleeves. They made a whole Netflix special on it. Yeah. Well,
So,
there's a whole sci-fi on that.
So,
but the neural net is real, dude. Neural net is real.
It's real.
These are electrodes, and they demonstrated the machine inserting it directly into the brain. They show, and the chip is embedded into your skull. There's a Bluetooth connection, a wireless connection, and then there shows them the methods of being able to translate electrical signals from the brain to different parts of the spinal cord, especially with people that have spinal cord injuries. So the progress there is mind-boggling to me. It's just
it's now it's going to finally behave itself. So it is mind-boggling. Anytime you talk about any of this stuff, and I've heard a couple of different people working on this, it is. I mean, it's like, and I remember it was 1920. 2020. And I remember the Air Force and Navy both came out and said they were ending all of their remote viewing programs, and we're going to start looking for telepaths to do telepathy. Well, the really funny part about this is that the government may have figured out how to enhance telepathy. So if you're like a low-grade telepath or you're an empath or something, the government now pretty much knows how to. And the reason why they wanted this is because when you listen to like Ed Dames and them, who was a captain and a long-time colonel, actually, in the Army for a long time working on these remote viewing programs, remote viewing is limited to, it's just limited to seeing like, okay, you want to see the nuclear missile? Yeah, it's you can find it, and you can see the trees and you can see the building, but would never tell them what the address was or what the code was for it. You needed telepathy for that. So our government decided somewhere along the line, yes, and you can look it up for yourselves, people, that they wanted to do that. Well, one of the things about the chip was, and this was brought up just recently, about 2 weeks ago, is that they may be able to put a chip in your brain to enhance those abilities. I don't know where this is all going, but I know if it works the way Elon wants it to work, a lot of people who are handicapped today or paralyzed won't be.
The fundamental, the input output, the basics is putting an electrode in and multiple electrodes in. There's a machine that spots where to put them in, and they can be put in different parts of the brain depending on what you want to interface with. And it can, and so it gets data out, and that data out then gets put through a neural net and translated into workable like solutions, like move an arm or recognize something. And so if you can plug it into if you plug those electrodes into where your eyes are, then you should be able to see. You can plug the electrodes into where your memory is, then and the
I
other
think it's a
side of it
great
is,
technology.
yeah, it's amazing. It's totally amazing.
Well, government corrupts every damn thing, but I don't know if Elon's going to give it to the government. And yes, I'm not saying they could use a chip to take your brain over. I don't think it's that sophisticated yet. Now, maybe in the future, well, really, are you going to let the government just come plant a chip in your brain for no reason? No, that's not going to happen. We don't live in the Soviet Union. We still live in America.
I mean, it was a trip to watch this 2-hour presentation, because they're talking about they're talking it as a very pragmatic thing. How do you do software? How are they going to do software upgrades? How long are the batteries going to last? What are the corrosion with the electrodes inside of your brain? And you're talking about pragmatic, these like real world pragmatic problems that they're solving in order to really make it happen. And I think that's what kind of makes it more real, right? Because they have these fluids, and the problem with the fluid is it's going to create rust, but the amount of rust is so nominal. Go on and on, this ratchet into this incredible detail on solving real world problems and making it work. It's like, it's going to work.
That's because Elon wants to change the world, people.
He does, man.
He just, I know a lot of people are not happy with him right now because he bought Twitter out and is exposing all of their bad habits, but it wasn't nothing we didn't already know, except for maybe the FBI going in and telling them what to do. That seems a bit on the absurd side, but I wouldn't worry about that as much as his revolution for us. One of the things that the chips can do, and this is one of his things he was talking about just recently, is it may be able to produce oxygen inside the body. Like, so, I forgot how he said it works, but say you're on Mars and you're walking around outside, something to do with the atmosphere and the stuff around it could actually turn it into oxygen. So the body wouldn't need a mask to be walking around. The man's brilliant. I mean, I don't know how much is going to come out to be true and how much, but every time I hear him talk about something, he's just innovative. He's trying to change the world, and eventually he's going to move to Mars. He wants to go to Mars. He's like, he wants to. I'm a little leery when he starts talking about Elonville, but it makes me a little nervous. I always think about the James Bond movie. What is that? Moonraker, when a guy built a thing in space. I'm always thinking, Elon, don't go that man. Come on now. Let's not.
Can't tell if he's a superhero or a supervillain, right?
Yeah. I mean, in a way, I think he's going to be both, but he's going to be villainized no matter what he does now, because he came out and he's down on the liberals right now. So, no, that's a negative, people. You can't down the liberals. That's a bad thing to do. Yeah, you'll get canceled. Yeah, but the problem is trying to cancel Elon Musk is not an easy task. He's not the richest man in the world, and where they dropped him down, I forgot where they dropped him. Ford's dropped him down. He's only worth 176 billion now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so he's really worried. But well, I don't know what Twitter's going to do. We'll just have to wait and see what Twitter ends up doing. In the end, if he proves all these liberals, these conservatives were being screwed over, and they decide to sue, then he can just sue Jack Dorsey and him that they gave him a limit, and he'll get his money back, and they'll be stuck with all these lawsuits on Twitter. He's really wanting to save Twitter, though, guys. He wants to make it into a fair place. He said because of things like Facebook and other places, he wants to make it a fair place where everyone can come and talk without being shadow banned. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I haven't asked him for my old page. I lost 3 pages on there. 3 of them were 100,000 each, and they slowly but surely banned each one. For archive, no less, for putting too many archives up. First time that's ever happened, but it was Twitter. Maybe some of the stuff we talked about they didn't want to hear. We do politics on the network, and they're not always nice to liberals.
I think Elon has enough data now to be able to go to the SEC and prove that the Twitter board of directors and executives knew that 20% or 30% of their traffic was bots and not real, and that they utilize those numbers as a way to defraud advertisers on selling ads, and also on defraud Wall Street and investors on on the value of the company and certainly him. So I think he's exercising great restraint and not.
Oh, I think he is too. Well, Elon's brilliant. People just wait and see. There's be lots of stuff coming out. Oh, you mean why hasn't he made a DeLorean time machine yet? How do you know he hasn't? You say that, but you don't know if he has. He might be traveling through time. He might be friends with Doctor Who, as far as you know. I mean, come on. Look, so to make this clear for most people, so if you were around in the turn of the 1900s and you made it to say the 50s, you've seen a revolutionary change in our country. If you were born anywhere from 45 up to say about the 70s, you're going to see an amazing change in our country. I mean, come on, we figured out cold fusion. What the hell? Do you know how that's going to change the world? I mean, it's going to be expensive in the beginning, but long term, once you start a reactor, it keeps running. It don't need any fuel. It just needs a handful of people to babysit it. Eventually, they'll have reactors the size of softballs that'll run your car and your house, and energy will be free. You know what that's going to do for the world to have free energy? It will change it in a way that most of us can't even imagine right now. And we may live to see it start. I'm pretty old these days, so I got maybe not 20 years around, but and I might see this start, but it would have been nice if it would have happened when I was like 16 or something, so I could take advantage of it. But I'm glad to see it coming. I'm glad to see the things are changing. It's going to change a lot of things in the world. Just the simple fact that you don't have to pay for gasoline or electricity anymore is going to change the world. I know. I wonder how fast my little car will go with a fusion reactor on board. Anyway, people, y'all get me distracted. We're going to play this right quick because I think I can control it from here. Or maybe I can't control it from here. Oh, yeah, I can. Okay.
Yeah, so the purpose of this little video is to show that utilizing AI art, generated art, in conjunction with painting and other digital techniques together is what creates a finished product. And the finished product, the upside to using the AI art to generate parts and pieces, like in this video, is the speed. Because if I can get AI to create the back plate, for example, and I can get that AI and the AI generating that back plate, I can do it in 10 minutes. Then I don't have to paint it. I don't have to make it. I don't have to assemble it. I don't have to. It's already putting together big pieces for me. So being able to assemble. So utilizing the AI, we're able. My theory, and I think I'm right, is we can make a comic book in about 1/10 of the time.
That'd be nice. Wait, you got a question? Samantha's writing in. Samantha Harolding, is how you doing? Where you writing in from? Oh, Tacoma, Washington. Well, how you doing in Tacoma? Freezing your ass off, probably. So, what kind of question you got? Oh, she said she don't understand what you mean by AI. What's the definition of the type of AI you're talking about? Do you have to generate something for it to generate, or can you give it a verbal description and it generates, or how does it work?
Sure. So for many years there was some research done, a lot of money put into it, to basics called a thing called stable diffusion, and that became open source. And now that based on that open source, at this point in time, there's companies like Midjourney, there's Stable Diffusion, there's DALL-E, and a couple others that you actually you go to the site and you have a line, like a prompt line you would on any, like on your URL line on the top of your browser, and you type in, I want to see a gigantic field on fire at sunset with twigs or whatever. And so now what this machine does is it goes out and looks at billions of images. It reads your length, your prompt says what you want, and then it starts assembling bits and pieces of all these billions of pieces of pictures into what it thinks you're asking for. So there's no limit to what can be done. It's if you want a purple flying horse with bat wings on flying on the moon, you type it in and you'll get it. So there's not the mechanics of assembling art have been substantially changed. Now it's much you can do it. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. Now there's some nuances to it. There's making prompts and different types of commands and so on and so on. But the basic of going in instantly being successful and typing in, typing something in and getting the result is now. It's happening right now, and it's exploding everywhere. Microsoft is bringing bringing it directly. Like I'll tell you right now, if you were companies that had stock photos prior to this are in trouble. Where you normally, for example, if you were making an ad and you wanted to have a beach scene, you need a beach because you want to put you're talking about a vacation spot, rather than having to go to a stock photo and buy it and license it. You'll open up a screen inside of your Microsoft Office or another program, and you'll put in there, I need to see a beach, Hawaii sunset, palm trees, and you'll get the image. So that's what's happening. So it's prompt based, meaning you put text in and it creates images. All these little images on top here are all AI images based on text. Whether it's
Well, man, that's hope for me. Then I might be able to get some drawing done. I doubt it, but still.
yeah.
It's, no, Clara, that's exactly what he was saying. Yeah, so it's the world's changing, people. We got to keep
You
up.
scroll down, you'll see all the books.
It's a changing world, and that's just the way we're going about it. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. And see, this is what he was talking about in the beginning on what is it? Action Comics? Is that what it is?
AI.
AI. Okay, that's it. So the website's right there, and I'll post it in the chat, and I'll give it out one more time before the night's over, so y'all can get it. Yeah, it's aicomicbooks.com. Yeah, aicomicbooks.com. It's real easy. Yeah, well, one thing he's probably learned himself. The best thing you can do when you're doing anything on the internet is make the address as short and as easy to remember as possible. Because the longer they are, the less likely people are going to visit them because they forget them or they don't get them right or it becomes a problem. So this is an easy one, aicomicbooks.com. You can't really forget that, not unless you're smoking that marijuana tonight or something. Oh, wait, I'm trying to change it on the wrong one. Dumbass. Oh, shut up, whoever wrote that. So these are all generated by AI then, right?
Yeah, these are all these are all from different people. There's 10 different writers on here, and the base art was done through AI. Now, a lot of it is like you saw in the video that you played just earlier. Mm-hmm. You have to put it together. You have to put it into panels. You have to light it certain ways. I mean, there's things to do with it post art, making the art, but the speed at which you can do those things and storytell and give the ability for people that couldn't storytell otherwise because it didn't have the artistic ability or this tool available makes it really a revolutionary storytelling tool for anyone that's a writer. Anyone that's a writer now can create create a comic book, graphic novel.
That saves you money. Well, you can always ask an artist to do it for free, but they're going to want something in return, share of your book or something. But this will make it easy on y'all guys. If you got a specific image in your head, you might want to work it out. I mean, that's another thing while we're talking about that. So at Writers of the Future, they have the great reveal. And what they do is the illustrators are given a story and they illustrate the story. The writers never get to see it until the night of the reveal. So they get the story, they read it, and then they do the cover art for the story. Jeff, whose did you get?
I forgot. It had to do with a Seder, which is a Jewish ceremony, and some demons, ghouls, and some mystical Jewish folklore. It was fun.
Let's see. We'll go through these right quick. Well, hold on. Let me get my fat fingers out of the way. That's the actual cover, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, let me move so I can see. Well, I got all kind of stuff I got to move. Hold on a second. let me move this one out of the way. So stop screen for a minute. So that's the original cover right there of this book, and then we're going to go through a couple of them. Hopefully Jeff will recognize his.
I think I'm at 37.
Oh, 37 because this is
I think I
38
have
again.
37 because
Okay.
we were the COVID one.
Oh, yeah. So I'll get. Well, this is 38, guys. I'll pull up 37 in a second. Oh no, actually, this is 36. I got in my hand. Sorry. But they got great artwork in these. Each one of those pictures you see, though, is a cover for someone who wrote. Let's see, 37. I know I got it around here because I've been giving away in sets of threes. Yep, there they are. Well, anybody who wins a lightsaber gets 36, 37, and 38 for free. And then we usually give away two sets of 36, 37, and 38 in the shows every night or right after the show. So this is, I believe, is 37. Yeah, let me see. That's 30. See, that's the cover of 37, guys and girls. 36 and 37's covers were similar because the COVID, they had to do the gala for 2 years at once. So they wanted to kind of try to make it all look like it flowed together, which was a great idea. Don't know whose idea it was, but it was a great idea. See, they got little ones like this. So I read this story. You can look at this picture and kind of get a grasp of what this story is. See, this is one of the things I liked about L. Ron's older works. So if you ever get to see, I got all of his works. John sent them to me a while back. But if you ever get to see his works and you see the retro comic style covers they did for him, the covers really tell you the story. Say, who's that? I don't think I read that story. Here's some crazy guy. What's this guy doing? So that's two of them right there. And there's a lot of great work in it, and there's a lot of serious competition here. These guys.
The one I did is you'll see it's a young boy staring out at you and the monster in the back.
Let me see. Make sure I didn't pass that one out. Now this is a young girl with a cat on her shoulder. Actually, I think I do remember yours. Well, I might as well show them all now. I've been showing them, but here's some more of them. This comes with the book. It's in the book. These are all great pieces of art, and see, that would make me a nervous wreck doing a cover for somebody I've never. I'd just be like, I don't know, man. And see, there's two more. Got a lot of glare in here tonight for some reason. I wish John would put these online so I could just pull them up online. And let's see what these two are. Okay, I think I actually remember these stories. See, I see the covers. It reminds me of the stories. Let me get in here where y'all can see that one. With the little girl down there praying for something. Praying that something come eat her in the middle of the night, probably. Well, no, they have a color copy of each one in the book. Yeah. When you read through the book, they'll have it posted on each one, but that won't be color. That will be black and white. I'm not sure what the one on this side is, but on this side, I should say. And I have to remember when I'm looking at the camera, everything is backwards. Here's some space junkies. Well, I'm sure that's not what it is, but it kind of gives me that sense of it. Oh, this is the one. This is the one Jeff's talking about right here.
Yeah, that's the one I did.
Now remember, he had to do this. This isn't something he just did off the top of his head. He read the book, or the story, I should say, not the book, and this is what he had to do for the story. So, but this is important about people. When you read the stories, you'll see all this artwork in all of them, and when you read them, you'll see the story ahead of time. I really do. Whoever did L. Ron's original artwork for his books, they did them good because when you would see the picture, it really gave you a feel of what the story was going to be. That kind of gives you a feel of what the story is going to be. It's a lot of work. Personally, I couldn't do it. I'd be like, no, let me draw a stick man. Let me draw a stick man with a stick man monster behind it. But it's hard work. Now, I had seen Lucille had written in earlier, and it's a question that always comes up. What is your favorite medium to work with? Now, I know we're talking about AI tonight, but they want to know, is that your favorite, or is using a pencil and paper, or painting, or art, or using graphic art design? There's so many ways to do it.
My primary tool is Photoshop.
Yeah.
I do have a couple of kinds of palette, a couple of kinds of digitizers of Wacom's. So you do need something that's pressure sensitive to be able to do some drawing and painting on specifically. But the workhorse is for photo manipulation, for painting, for compositing, and then lighting, and so on is and color correcting, all the stuff that you really need to be able to do professional level work is Photoshop. That is your desktop.
Well, quite a few people told me about Photoshop, and then I know when I'm watching, like when I attend some of the classes for the artists or the illustrators, you'll see some there with pen and paper, or I should say pencil and paper. No one had a pen. Some would just have a pad or a lap. Some would have a laptop, but it's different. But when you look at the 12 or 20 or that particularly at 24 winners, they're all have their own ways of doing things. It's not like one set thing for each person. A lot of them use paint shop, and a lot of them use other stuff besides that. And a lot of them like to put it down on a canvas first and then shrink it down to electronic, digitize it. I'm like, that just sounds like a lot of extra work. But I'm not an artist, so I don't really know, what's easier. I would think anything dealing with electronics is going to be easier because it's going to be easier to correct. I mean, when
It's
you're
also
doing
easier to size. It's easier to color. It's either easier to make corrections. I mean, as a practical matter, if you're doing a commercial work, you're going to submit something. Someone's going to want to change it.
yeah,
They're going to want to change this. They're going to want to change that. I just did a comic book cover, alternate comic book cover going to come out next year, and they had to change the clouds 3 times, and the guy that was flying through the clouds, the energy wake, so to speak, of like a Superman wake when you're flying had to be changed. So these are modern tools, and the people that are coming into these in their early 20s, and younger,
mm-hmm.
they're not. To them, this is to
Normal,
them.
yeah.
Photoshop is pencil and paper. Not that you don't draw on pencil and paper. Not that people can't sketch on pencil and paper. Not that there's none of the stuff is limited or diminished by anything else. It's just more is more, and now these tools let you create faster, higher quality, and that's kind of the name of the game if you want to try to make a buck.
and that's what I'm getting ready to say. If you're in the real world and you're working for a company, they're not going to give you a year or 2 years to come with a picture because they probably need it now or last week. That's just the real world, ladies and gentlemen. There will be times when someone will commission a piece of work for you that might take you a while. But mostly today, that's not how it works. I was talking with Tom Wood about this just recently, and I know he still uses some pencil and pen, but he uses a lot of digital work too. I mean, almost all the artists I met for the last 3 years at Writers of the Future, all of them somewhere along the line use digital. They use some type of digital, something off the web. Because in the end, like you said, it's just easier. I mean, you can test colors and swap out colors. You can fill in a color, and if you don't like it, you can take it out and fill in another color. It's just, I can understand how that would be easy. And plus that, you have the ability to make your own colors, which is not something you can usually do when you're painting, unless you're going to mix paint together.
There's a very pragmatic issue on that, Joe, is that anyone that's doing commercial art now has to deliver in a format that the publisher wants. And if the publisher is on the other side of the planet and they say, I need a PDF at 300 DPI, and these are the sizes I need, and here are the mechanical layout of it, and this is what I need by this pixels and so on, you got to deliver, right? I mean,
yeah, you got to.
You can stand on ceremony and say, I'd rather do it. I'd rather be, paint by hand or, do painting by hand, but ultimately you have to convert it to digital because it has to be then in the format or RGB or CMYK or whatever it might be, all these technical shit that comes up for people to be able to actually implement it and buy it.
It's like the banner that's behind us right now. I did that all digital because there's no way I could have done it any other way. I couldn't have drawn this. I found what I was looking for in different things, and I put them together, and it allowed me to put it together in one format and change the colors around until I got what I wanted. And because the original one's not, if you've seen the original one, it looks nothing like this one, but it's just a nice way of doing it. And look, see, that proves something to you. If I can do it, anybody can do it, people. Okay, and I'm using something called PicMonkey. That thing's just funny. It's a banner maker is what it is, ladies. And no, it's not the same as what he's talking about right now. It's a banner maker. It's a different thing than using If you wanted to create your own banner from scratch, then you would use what Jeff was just now talking about. If you want to take some kind of preformed and do it, then you can do it in PicMonkey as a banner maker, yes. And you can make any size and you can adjust it to any size, but it is limited to you have to furnish the background material. Whether it's blue sky, purple sky, a spaceship, a monkey running down the street, doesn't matter. You have to furnish that, and then after that, you can adjust it any way you want to. But it's non-sophisticated compared to what he's talking to. It's not the same thing. But anybody who spends any real time on a computer, anybody's in radio, TV, or in art, it's going to be a lot easier to do it this way. And then now that you can use AI, to kind of put some stuff, make stuff faster for you, and just allows you to put it together and change the colors and the lighting. That's time saving. And if you want to work for any big companies, you're going to need it, because I can tell you now, a lot of like the gaming companies, they want it tomorrow. I mean, yeah, they'll give you a few weeks, but they're going to want it fast. And, and of course, a lot of times they'll give you incentives. The faster you get it to them, the better you pay. It's just how to, I don't make the rules. I'm sorry, guys. I don't make the rules. I just have to live in the same rules with everybody else. I do radio and TV, guys. It's a little different for me.
You know
It's a
what? We
whole
could
lot
do a
different.
demo. We could do a real time demo if I can get control. If you can let me control it.
Yeah, you can take control. It should let you take right over. Let me drop what's in here. Oh, well, won't let me drop it. Okay, remove from stupid thing. Well, I'm removing myself from the studio. But yeah, you can take control of it. It should be easy. It's interesting today the way everything works. I'm fascinated by it all. And digital means I've been playing with digit as they used to call it in the old days, digitronics. Yeah, you ain't heard nobody call it that in 30 years. It's
just go with it. Just that's the way it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's got to go.
There you go. I can put it up so everybody can see it.
So
So
this
okay.
is actually this is actually part of my workflow process, and in so we want to create something. Let's make something. What does your screen say? What is your initial login screen? A UFO, a
Yeah, it's a
classic
UFO.
UFO.
Yeah.
Over
I know, Denisha. You're loving this, aren't you?
over a home, over like a residential home of say 1950s, or the evening.
I can already tell I'm about to get me one of these. I got to get myself in all kind of trouble.
LED lights and dramatic size.
This is great.
We'll do this in an aspect ratio of 3:2.
I know this is great.
Some of the aspect ratios and some of the little tags at the end are things, our skills you learn like any other any other kind of tool to tweak it. But from just how you get it done, the basics is that text, and that shows there that it's 0%. So give it a second.
Yeah, we got plenty of time. It's I know the other chat room, the messenger board. I know this is great. I'm gonna have to get me one of these. I'm gonna have to get me some software like this. Look, see, it's already generating. Well, this will take a lot of work out.
This has gone out to see billions of reference images, and now it's assembling them into a final, into a final image. Actually, these are not finals. These are low res. These are 4 low res. So when we get this, it says 70%. When it gets to 100%, then we'll take a look at them, and we'll decide which one we want, and then we'll scale, and then we'll choose that one, and it'll go to it'll go up to a higher detail and higher resolution.
What's that?
So here's our result.
I like all of them. Oh no, let's see let's do the one on the upper right. Yeah,
this one here.
Yeah, let's do that one. That's the one most people wrote texting. They kept saying 2, so I'm assuming that's what they were texting. Well, no, guys, this y'all could do serious feature stuff for y'all shows with this kind of technology. It will allow you to create things in a much faster way. I mean, it took me like 3 hours to create that banner. It was a pain in the ass.
The power of, it put in a car that's kind of like the 50s, even though it's not exactly the 50s car. It pulled the architecture that's 50s. It pulled the classic UFO saucer. It's pretty phenomenal as to the result you got with one simple prompt.
I know, and now I'm thinking this is a fabulous little program here. Well, people, y'all might be able, if you've got any skills on the way things look, you want things to look, or you have any. I mean, that's a great pull. I mean, that's really well done. Everything, you got the porch light on, you got the backlit from the clouds, you got the grayscale from the clouds, you got the car, which is pretty close to 50s car, and then you got the saucer, which I like to call a classic 50s saucer, sitting right there. It's a phenomenal job. What do you mean there's no shadow? Why would there be a shadow in the house? There's nothing cast on from the bottom of the saucer, Goofy. Yeah, there
There's
wouldn't be a shadow there.
Yeah, there's a. I set it to run some different alternatives.
Yeah.
Pick the last one you liked and ran alternatives on it, so it gets you different skies, different kinds of
I know
saucers.
they're cool looking. Yeah, we got people chatting. We'll use any of them. It's that's a piece of work. See, you guys, see how much you get to learn just hanging out with people who know what they're doing. Well, Jeff, I seen Jeff's work when we were in L.A. and he's got great work. Oh no, he's got a lot of great stuff. Oh no, that's Echo. You mean the naughty women? That was Eco. I mean Echo. Sorry, I keep wanting to call her Eco. No, that was Echo with the bad girls. Yeah, we did it. We did one of Echo's bad girl list, the
What is
booby
that?
list. She's got they're like naked boobs and stuff.
Oh,
It's
boobies.
a she's they were like I still remember that was so because she had told me, but I said no. I said the show's not G rated. You can post whatever you want. I said just don't make it like triple X or anything like that. But yeah, yeah Echoes her archives posting. You can go check it out. And so is Tom's and uh, Jess will be posted up later. It's no, it's great work. I mean,
Yeah,
look at
so
that.
so
And
you
that
take
he's yeah.
yeah. So I'll take these parts and pieces. Like here, I need an evil clown. So I was looking for an evil clown to start with. Now, since I'm compositing, I'll get individual. I'll look for stuff as against white backgrounds or dark backgrounds,
Mhm.
and then I'll separate them from the backgrounds and composite them into a final image. But from just being able to the speed of creating things,
I
um,
know.
it's
Gives you a
a
lot of damn options too. I see.
yeah. I mean, I've used this now for I'm up to about 17,000 images in here of different kinds of there's really no limit to what um, you can do. It's like here was putting anime characters on fingernails.
No shit. Don't let my daughter see that, man. They'll be painting them damn things.
And we're looking at different kind of art styles. And
See,
this is all these are
yeah,
all this is all
looking.
based on that.
Yeah, I was looking at those. I mean, I like the four options you got there. I mean, any one of those would have been a good picture to use. See, that's great. I mean, that's taking a lot of the work out of it.
Yeah, I mean you can see the background plates like when you look at we look at the book, the background plates for the for like the mountains.
The devil.
Yeah, more faces. And this is I actually used Bill Murray. I did Bill Murray as a base model for Satan.
Oh shit.
Just so you know.
No,
Yeah,
that's cool.
it doesn't look exactly like Bill Murray, but Bill Murray had enough of the facial features. Yeah, so that's so there. Yeah, so there's
So you can add. So you can. Can you just add in anybody's face and work off of that face, or anybody's like, say, if you took a picture of someone standing somewhere, could you? Is there a way to put that in there and then let it address that however you wanted to enhance it?
yeah. Now we're running we're we're creating. You can utilize the software to create your own models. So if I have, let's say, I had pictures of your head from all different sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then would run it through the software, and then your head would be modeled. So then I would, I'd say, make Joe a knight in shining armor with detailed armor or whatever, and your face would be there inside of the shining armor. So creating these individual data models um, around people and right now is done. It's easy. We can do it. Like, it's done all the time now. People are getting it done for cars. They're getting it done for consumer products, all kinds of stuff. Because once you have the model, once you have the data model in, then you can pretty much tell it what you want to do. Does that make sense?
Sorry, let me turn the volume back on. Yes, it does actually. I had my dog in my lap. I didn't want it to bark in the mic while we were sitting there. See, this is something that would make my life easier. I could actually use this. I mean, I'm kind of geeky with computers anyway, so this would
This
be
is like
something.
I said, this is a lot of detail where you're typing in what you want, the kind of lighting, mood lighting, cinematic, this and that and the other, and you can get really crazy with it. You can make it do phenomenal, really phenomenal, phenomenal stuff. And this is a cyberpunk. Here's a cyberpunk comic I'm working on. But you got to get in there in order to make a comic book out of it. It's like the comic books on the site. You got to be able to get in there then and add things, to take things out, add lighting and so on. Now the platforms are getting better. They're called in painting and out painting, and they're getting better and better and better all the time. But still, it's not. You still from a sequential storytelling perspective. You have to be able to get consistent characters, and there's some issues with regards to the technology to be able to do that. But
Yeah, give it time. They'll get there. I was thinking when you was typing, it brought me all the way back. Yes, people, I actually had a computer before Windows, and if y'all don't know what that means, you're just lucky that you didn't have to find out. So you seen it when he was typing it.
Was it an Osborne or a K Pro?
Actually, the first thing I worked on, I don't even remember. It was these are for the U.S. Navy, and just to put the perspective in, so y'all can understand this. The computer was 7 stories tall and about 500 feet wide. Under every floor was panels. So anything you wanted to do had to be typed into HTML. You had to type it longhand. And I mean, so like say you wanted to go to a website. I mean, it was literally 2 paragraphs to go to a website. If you wanted to play this, they had, what was a game, Throw the Bananas at you. It's still in DOS even today, y'all. But if you know how to work your DOS, it's actually in DOS even today. But it was just a whole, man, when Windows 3.0 came out, I was like, what is this crap? And I used it. I'm like, well, this might be better than 3.1 came out. And I was like, wow. Yes, people, that's long. That's when we had 5-inch floppy drives and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm sorry. Stuff that none of y'all have to worry about today. Not even a little bit. I had my hard drive. I remember when I got my first big hard drive, because most of them were like half a gig and stuff. I got my first 2 gig hard drive. They called it a Bigfoot, literally because it was almost a foot long. It was about 4 inches thick and as wide as the base of the computer. Yes. So be grateful y'all have these fast computers and technology like this to do stuff, because when I started, it was a nightmare. Everything was, in order to do just what he just did, would be literally a day's worth of typing. But as each generation grows up, we get faster, brighter, and smarter. And it seems like, what do you mean you don't know how old are you? What do you mean you don't know how to use a computer? 26. And what planet have you been living on? Do you have a cell phone? Well, then you know how to use a computer. What do you mean? My computer is 8 cores, 128 gigs of RAM. Actually, it's 264 RAM. It's as fast as any computer. It can't do what a computer can, because unfortunately it's limited by its size and its memory, but you can do a lot. Yeah, so if you've been watching him, so he just types in, he puts his general parameters in, and then it generates a picture, and then he actually generates 4 pictures, and he's allowed to choose from it. And then each time he can just upgrade it a little better, a little faster, a little sharper, a little cleaner each time.
This one we turned in. This was Batman as a mech warrior.
Oh, damn.
And mech's
he looks badass. Right? I'm waiting for Megatron to jump out and say, "Hey, Batman, what's up?"
Right.
Yeah. Well, right now, Chris. Right now, Cyberpunk is big. Right now, they've got a couple of big games come out that are Cyberpunk. It's big right now. As a matter of fact, my son bought a new console the other day. Let me rephrase that. I bought him a new console the other day so that he can get a new Cyberpunk game that he's in love with. No, he's 37 and he owns half my business, and I still buy him shit. Yes, that's life. If you don't have kids, you don't understand. If you got kids, you understand. And that's all I can tell you. No, he don't live at home. He's getting ready to get married. What are you talking about? Hell, I live at home. No, I don't think so. Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? Where does Jeff put his? Oh, okay, okay. I'm sorry, Sarah. I didn't know what you meant. So Sarah's asking, do you have like a website where you keep your stuff? I know we're on the the AI comics one right now, but I guess they want to know in general if there's a place that they can just go review through
Yeah,
your work.
yeah, sure. Let me. I just did here, one second. Did
Take your time. Take your time.
Elon Musk as a mech warrior just to see what it come up with,
Um,
just for shits and giggles. So,
he might invent this technology. You better watch out, man.
well, he did fund. He actually did fund the. There's one of the initial systems is called DAL-E, and he was one of the guys that funded it and funded it. So there you go.
He actually might need some mechanized as many people as he's pissing off lately. No, I like Elon. That's my man crushes Elon. What y'all talking about? Yeah, if I was a girl, I'd be calling him every day. No,
Yeah,
I
I'm going to
like
bring up
Elon.
another screen for you. Hang on a second.
Yeah. No, doofus. That was Christopher Reed. No, he got thrown off a horse and was paralyzed. That's why he didn't play Superman again. Yeah. And then we've had a couple other Superman since then, and
Okay, so go ahead and pop up.
we'll drop it up for you. Blue. Add the screen.
So for when I work on my this is what came out of the machine, right? Just now. So I change the lighting. I flip a couple of switches and then now I can make something a lot more to what was like beam me up kind of thing and
Yeah.
pop the house out, control where your eye goes and so on. But it's a lot faster to do that than it is to make it from scratch, right? So
Oh, hell yeah.
so for someone like myself that take it from here to there, and that may seem that's actually a significant.
I actually like this backing better, to be honest with you. The color scheme behind it, I guess I should say.
Yeah, I'm thinking that this may be the takeaway for you, right?
Yeah, it's a good looking picture. Yeah. Well, yeah, Scarlett. I mean, Scarlett, like Scarlett O'Hara, Scarlett. I'm just asking. I'm just asking. I don't want to get no trouble here.
Yeah, so I wanted to show you that.
Yeah, I like that.
It used the. I didn't have to import any additional assets other than adding a light beam, but I did change. I did change the lighting, and lit certain places. But the process of this took minutes versus hours, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of work in it. I mean, if you were painting this is a good day's worth of painting for most painters. And people, even if you were sketching it, I mean, this is not. I mean, there's a lot of work here. I mean, just the highlighting alone is quite a bit of work. I mean, you see the windows the four windows lit, but they're lit slightly in different colors because of the locations they're in. You can see the ones that are not lit. The porch is well lit up. What do you mean? No, I don't think the car is moving. Why? Well, you see a shadow of light on the ground in front of like a headlight shadow. It's awful close to a car to be a headlight shadow. No, I don't think that's what that is. That's just a reflection. No, I think it looks great. I know Dean's like, yeah, let me put it on my website. Idiot. No, you can't go around telling people you made this. What is wrong with you people? Yeah. But y'all can go buy this software and try it yourself. I'm sure you'll screw it up a lot, but the more you use it, I'm sure the better you'll get at it.
Let me bring up kind of let me show more capabilities of utilizing this, but adding compositing where you're separating. It's like you saw the individual person on and then putting them together. So one second, let me bring that up.
Marco says you should be getting paid for this from a software company. He likes it. Works good. And from what I can see, it works really well. Clicking back in the system. And it's, I don't know. Well, I'm sure there's a lot of pre stuff in there, but I'm sure you can add stuff too.
So this is a book. It's almost done. It's on the 22nd page. It's almost done, but you can. This is how when you assemble all of these different faces separately, and add the boxes, add lighting, and this guy hung the guy in the tree compositing, but you can utilize these resources, these AI resources, to make some pretty amazing images, and be able to tell a super compelling story. But so this entire book will probably this entire book from beginning to end will probably take me about maybe 8 days to do. And
That's
yes,
phenomenal.
and it would be hard pressed for anybody to get this done in under 3 months.
Well, yeah, I was thinking they used to have a team of people who did comics back in the day, and it took some time to do them. It wasn't. There's no way they could have produced anything like this.
With an act, you look at have a story. It's the story is you still have to have a story, and it has to, dialogue and all the rest of it from a pragmatic of I've got an idea and I can turn it into something. Then these tools let you see that, and that's a hell of a lot of motivation to want to learn to do this additional.
Yeah, I'm gonna get me this shit. I'm gonna be playing as soon as I get Roku set up, so I got some free time. But I'm getting me one of these. No, I like this, people. I mean, I can come up with some decent. I have a good imagination. I just don't have any skills as an artist.
No, when the definition of the when the mechanics of the base art are removed and are just how well you can type or how well you can visualize and then articulate that vision in text, then the whole thing is flipped. The whole thing gets flipped around, gets flipped around, and that's what makes it so powerful. That's what makes it so powerful.
No, Anthony. No, not tonight. Jeff came on. Well, I met Jeff at Los Angeles at the Writers of the Future thing. I wanted him to come on. Well, I was going to bring him on the Friday show, but he'd get a much larger audience here, much more exposure here than the Friday show. I mean, Friday show does $1 million and a half, but this show is 2.5, 3 million, depending on what we're talking about. And I can see just the artwork caught people's attention pretty solid because I haven't seen anybody drop off in a while. I've been seeing people coming in. So, no, it's yeah, I know it's cool as hell.
Here, I got something new to bring up.
So AI.
So this is oops. So the base, this is a Photoshop, and so all the layers. These are all the layers in this image, and I'll just turn them off. I'll turn them off and turn them back on. This is a composite image which I brought in. Maybe I can find that one. But the only thing that was the AI piece was the tree. This guy hanging was from a different picture. This guy was a different picture, and the flames were different. And then you bring them all together and composite them. And in here, wanted to add our hero, and so you do lighting here, and then add the text bubbles and the dialogue, and then you kind of get a final page. So this is an example of one of this is kind of a further step because the base image was the tree and adding the hangman and so on, but that's the speed at which this can be done and put together to meaningful storytelling because the base assets are so good to work with to start with is just, it's super inspirational. It's like, holy shit.
I know it's phenomenal, actually. I mean, this is just people, if you've got any talent, you can use this. I mean, yes, Janine, it will take some getting used to because it's a computer. And if you're not computer literate, it might be a little bit harder on you, but you got to take it with any new software. And I tell this to people all the time. You can't go in expecting to learn software right off the bat. And you got to take your time, and each one has a little different quirks and things you got to learn and things that are already pre-stacked and stuff that you can use and stuff that you want to bring in. That's That's just part of any software. It doesn't matter what it's doing. That's just software in general.
So
Well,
the nice thing about this, let's say Midjourney, for example, which just look up Midjourney, type it in, look it up, is that you're like instantly successful. You enter your prompt and you get something cool back.
yeah, I was seeing that. I love this software. Look, people, I'm telling you, if you can actually learn to use this stuff, it'll really do a good job for you.
So when you start software and you don't get anything, it's difficult, and you're getting shitty you're not getting good results, and you start getting bummed out and so on, and then you don't want to do it anymore. The nice thing about this AI stuff is you put it in, you're going to get a good result. And
yeah, I've seen that.
Now, once you take that and you want to start adding nuances to it, you want to get more specific with your result. You want to modify a lighting. You want to turn it up and turn it more into a storytelling platform. Yeah, there's techniques you're going to have to learn. There's more, but it's a lot more motivated. You're a lot more motivated to learn those things when you have a successful experience, an initial successful experience.
I think, well, from what I've seen, guys, this is great software. You might not have to learn a lot of things here and there, but I mean, if you just want to start off with a base, that you can start off with your base like this. I mean, but you can always go back and add different pieces, different text. I'm sure it allows you to upload stuff into the system. So, I'd give it a try, people. Well, I don't know how much it costs. What is it, $5 million or something? How do I know?
No, it's like $10 a month or something.
Yeah, I mean, come on, people. That's what I pay for my Windows stuff. Yeah, all of my different Windows things. Yeah, I have every Windows product made. That's why I pay that for it. But I can't bitch about that. $10 a month ain't nothing. Now I'm going to add this week. I'll probably do it tonight when I get off there with Jeff. I'll probably do it tonight.
You should. It's just super powerful. I'll show you. I'll show you one other thing that I think would be super meaningful. Maybe even. Okay. So this is kind of my photo collection of different kinds of things, different pieces I've made depending on in my workflow, in storytelling and workflow. All those books had to deal with a guy who has to face his demons and determine his own self-worth, and there's all this self-discovery stuff. So, demons, Lucifer, temptation, all that stuff is an integral part of the storytelling. So, coming up with base characters, character studies, seeing what how you want it to the devil, the Satan to look or Lucifer to look, and then interior components, conceptual, all kinds of conceptual mapping. There's part of the book is a field of mirrors, and the mirrors will people that are in between heaven and hell, and they just go to the afterlife and they don't know what they want to do, and they stand in front of a mirror. Anyways, there's all kinds of interesting Sandman kind of stuff like that. But so these are the kinds of things that you go through and then mess around with different mountains.
There's a lot of material in there.
This one is like. So there's over, for me, I've been doing this now a little bit. So there's well over 17,000 images.
Yeah, and the more images you get, the more options you get, huh? It's no, there's a lot of great images in there, guys. I mean, all you can do is give it a try and see if it works for you. I'm going to get it when I get some free. I'm going to get it now, but when I get some free time, I'm going to play with it and see. Because sometimes when I'm doing uploads of archives, I get time. I'm waiting for the archives to finish, so I get time to play around with the computer. Well, I do a lot of archives every day, so it gives me a lot of free time.
Yeah, it's really phenomenal.
I would get it, guys. It's one of those things that I'm definitely going to get it. If I was y'all, I would try. I mean, if you're into art or you want to do your somebody just asked me again, what's the software called?
The software I would suggest using Midjourney. There's also DALL-E, and there's another one that uses Dream Studio, Stable Diffusion Dream Studio, but from a just put a prompt in, just put some words in and make it awesome. This is and one of the interesting, it's like not off in the weeds or anything, but an interesting part of this is to be able to is to put in different types of art styles, like
that makes sense.
And just to be able to see what it can do and what it can't. Where does it break? Now, it can do line drawings. There's the NS not safe for work filters are heavy. You need no genitals and no
Yeah.
But so you're not going to get, but you can get all kinds of crazy results, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing. Well, guys, I'd go out and get it and see what you can do and play with it and buy more, read it. Send me some pictures. Let me see what y'all come out with. Maybe I'll have Jeff back on. Well, when we get Roku on, I'll bring Jeff back and we can maybe some of y'all can send in some of your things you've done and we can go over them and see, how you did them or how they came out or what was your experience with the software. I always love new software. I can't tell y'all enough. I got every kind of freaking software you can believe. I can track my dog when it's running around. Shit.
So this is my Instagram, jdbcreative.art.
Yeah.
If you want to see has all the digital stuff on it.
Oh, by the way, guys and girls, in the description on the shows, the comic book banners there and all the rest of his are also there. So you should find his Instagram, his other pages. Everything he sent me is listed there for y'all, so y'all can kick it and go see for yourselves. He didn't give me a link for the software. People, don't be lazy. You know how fingers, listen. It's called typing. Yeah. I know we in the Me Too generation. I forget sometimes that I'm surrounded by crazy people. Well, no, it's in the description of any of the shows where you go. It's in the description. You'll see. Just pop open description, and it'll be right in there, and you can find it that way. Well, yeah, that way it's easy for everybody. He's got a couple of links in there. I know he's got Instagram in there. There's a few of them in here, actually. There's LinkedIn. There's, what is that? A JW Creative Art. That's in there. So all them links are in there. So you can go take a look at Jeff's stuff. I'm sure he's got emails on there where you can email him or contact him. Well, he might be looking for work. Look, there's a lot of you. I know a lot of you people who listen to the show do websites and podcasts and stuff like that and TV stuff. And everybody needs good looking art.
This was the stuff that prior to the AI stuff, this is the kind of stuff I was doing.
Yeah, I remember seeing a couple of these.
We shoot with models in studio, and then add digital. Like the creatures were done by ILM, and yeah.
Well, no, people. There's still no. Who wrote that? No, there's still a lot of artists who use models. Oh yeah. Don't. I've talked to several artists over the last few years, and almost all of them use models somewhere along their career. Or sometimes just depends what they're doing. Sometimes they don't need them. Sometimes they do.
Yeah, I think
no, Janine, you cannot be a model. You are a scary girl. Lord have mercy, unless you want to be like Satan's stepwife or something. Yes, Carol, I know Satan was supposed to be the most beautiful of all angels. I understand that. But that's not how humans portray his ass. We portray him as ugly, skanky looking. Yeah, no, when God cast him down, he took away all them good looks. Now you look like a whatever. I don't know. I'm not getting into that. I'm not that religious anymore. No. I don't practice any religions. No. It's not that I don't believe in a creator. I just don't practice any religions anymore. No. I got friends in every religion you can think of. I got a couple of my Jewish friends been trying for years. Let me convert you. I said, they're not going to convert me. They're going to go get that silly bastard out of our church. Out of our family. And I started out Catholic. Oh, yeah, I was raised Catholic. Went to Catholic church, went to Catholic schools until I was 6th grade. And then I converted myself to Baptist. And then I converted myself to the dark arts for a while. And then I realized that's not what I wanted to be into. And then I tried some Wiccan, and then I met Aleister Crowley's great-great-grandson, who introduced me to Marie Laveau's great-great-great-grandson. So I got to study both of them, yes. It's, no, It's not that. What do you mean devil? I'm not into devil worship. Get the hell out of here. Not unless he's got some hot, sexy wife. I'm not interested in that. I'm just telling y'all ahead of time. What popped up in there? What was that?
This is something that is going to come in and really blow away a lot of different things. This chat GBT just came online like 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to ask it to write a story about a blue bear and a rabbit with the hero's journey. And it's writing the story.
See, that's a plus in itself. There, anything that can help you write has got to be a plus.
So
but is places like Write of the Future going to consider that cheating or not? I don't know. I'm with you.
First, I had a talk with John about this. That was one of the reasons I met with him, because I put in here, write a story about a blue bear and a rabbit, and using the hero's journey. And the hero's journey is a classical way of creating storytelling, and it did it. Once upon a time in a land far, far away, blue journey to here, and at first there was a problem, and then two friends found themselves alone. The AI just wrote this story, all of that story, which is an original based on my one line of text. So it's not going to be too far. It's not too far away where you say, write a story about a blue bear and a rabbit in the story in the style of Stephen King, or whatever, right? Or I want to mix Shakespeare and Stephen King and make a story about whatever, turkeys. Doesn't matter, whatever it is, right? And because the computer, the nature of how this AI works is that the more data it gets, the more input it gets, the smarter it gets. It's machine learning. So now this open beta, this chat GPT open beta like gobs of people are getting in there and doing stuff and writing, and this thing is coding. I put my resume in here, my CV in here from LinkedIn, and asked it to rewrite it 3 different ways, and it rewrote it 3 different ways.
Damn.
So if you want to take from a content creation point of view, this is available right now to knock your socks off. Like, you want to just grab someone else's article, shove it in here, and press rewrite it, it'll rewrite the whole damn thing. Now it's more than that, right? Because it's also coding. It's smart. If you ask it things about Nazis, for example, it knows not to answer about Nazis. I mean, this is the beginning of this is the very beginning of something that's as big for art as big for writing as this AI is. The AI art is for art. And ultimately, and I was saying to John, the issue is going to be more of what was the base creative? Like, you have to have some kind of base creative to come up with a novel, for example. If you have super sophisticated, like, you could have a handsaw, or you could have a skill saw, or whatever, right? And they're still making stuff you're still sawing things and making them. So this is still only, the tools are only, are going to be as good as the people using them, but it's certainly going to shake things up, because now the mechanics of all of the pieces, for example, of pronunciation, grammar, and all the rest of that will be handled, spelling, et cetera, will be handled by the machine.
I mean, see, that would help me out, because my grammar is atrocious, to say the least. It's fine when I'm speaking, but when I skip points, I don't know, it's just a pain in the ass. So things like that will make my life much easier. See, I wrote 12,000 words when I was out in LA with y'all last year. And I haven't wrote anything since I've been home, because my life is chaotic when I'm home. There's just no such thing as free time. Plus, they got me on this medicine for a trigeminal, which is, ooh, man. When you first take it, you're like off in fogland somewhere. And then it's kind of chills out after that. But, Lord have mercy, it makes it hard to concentrate. It's people. This is great for up and coming writers, up and coming artists. I would give all this a try and see what you come up with. Well, no, as far as I know, from what Jeff and I just said, I don't think it's unless it's a direct copy of somebody's work. I don't think you got a problem with writers of the future or anybody for that matter. No,
The writers of the future, you know, John was like you're standing on the railroad track and the freight train's coming. Like you're not going to stop it.
No, you're not stopping it.
You're not going to stop it.
This is not going to stop. And how are they going to know anyway, unless someone tells you this is how I wrote the story or this is how I did the art? They're not going to know. There's no tags in it. So, I mean, well, no, Christopher, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't consider this cheating because you're going to put the parameters in of what you want written anyway. And then you're going to probably go through and change them. If you've got a particular story in your head, then you'll probably go through it. You can use it to get the bases out and then go through and change what you need to change. Same thing with the artwork. No, I think it's a great base for up and coming. I think these programs will get the millennials, well, not the millennials, but the Z-Geners interested in art and text again, art and writing again. There's been a slack off. You know, one of the reasons we do these book programs is to help get Z-Geners and even younger millennials into reading again and to help them to understand, look, you can make money on this. This is a career. If you've got talent, if you've got any kind of artistic or writing talent, this is a way to go. Now, this stuff that Jeff and I have been talking about tonight is just a phenomenal step up. I mean, it's phenomenal. No, people, we already got AI trying to be actors already. Eventually, AI will replace our actors. They'll just need a screenshot and that's it. And they'll go ahead and do the acting themselves. No, right now it's glitchy and jumpy to actors now, but all this is going to change. What are you worried about? You'll be dead before AI takes over the world, so don't even worry about it. I know how old you are. Don't even BS me. I know how old you are. Oh, I know. Wait, hold on. Go ahead. I'll let Jeff finish this.
So this is a couple of guys I'm talking with and are screwing around, messing around with stuff like this. Where I just asked the AI. I just asked this Chat GPT to write a comic book for me, panel by panel, and it's doing it. It tells me what the scene is. It gives me the dialogue for Bluey and the rabbit, Bluey and the rabbit, Bluey and the rabbit, Bluey and the rabbit. So, in theory, like if I was to I could take this Bluey and the rabbit right here. Let's do that. We'll just do that. We'll do it in real time. And we'll enter that. We'll just enter that text directly into the AI, the Mid Journey.
This stuff is phenomenal. I don't care who you think is cheating or not. I think it's phenomenal. I'd use it. I might upload the 12,000 words I got written in there and tell it to finish it.
So now I took that first line. Actually, I'll take all of this text. So here's what I said: write a comic book about a blue bear and a rabbit. And in theory, like I'm not, bear with me. I'm not sure exactly how well this is going to work. Let me switch screens. Hang on a second. Okay. Joe.
Yeah, I got you. Oh, I forgot. I didn't put you up there. Somebody decided they're going to text me on the phone. I was like, what?
So what just happened is I was in the Chat GPT. I put in write a story about a blue bear and a rabbit. It gave me panel 1. The panel 1 said, Bluey and the rabbit are lost and alone in a dangerous part of the forest. I took that part right here where it says, so you can see right here, that was directly out of the AI we just were in, and I put it into here, and this is the panel I got.
It's pretty good.
So, like this is really pushing the edge. Okay.
Yeah.
This is really pushing the edge because I gave it virtually no direction. It came up with a story, and now it's generating images around it. But we could make this story, turn this story into a webcomic about Blue Bear and the rabbit, Blue and the rabbit, in about 20 minutes.
See, I just think this stuff is going to be phenomenal. Ladies and gentlemen, if you got a good imagination, you go and you type in this and you really give it something to chew on, I think it's going to produce you something nice. I really do. Oh, I know we're getting ready to go, guys, because I got to give this lightsaber away. But I'm going to have to bring Jeff back on just to get into this deeper. Oh yeah, this is fabulous. We didn't get through enough of his artwork tonight, but this is fabulous. This is something all y'all should learn. I know we have a lot of people in this network who are into writing and into illustrating. I mean, that's why Jeff's show's so popular. We got a host on Church of Mavis. That's all he does is authors and illustrators. And I know there's a big need for this. And I'm telling you, I'm getting it just to see what it'll do for me. Hell, I'm gonna get it submitted to Writers of the Future next year. Say, look what I wrote, John. John will be going, Joe, who wrote this for you? I said, nobody, man. I wrote this. What you talking about? Oh man.
So if we want, like next time, if you want to get back on next time, get a list of folks to send you some ideas on prompts.
That's a good idea.
We can make different images out of them. We can make a comic out of them. We can do all kinds of stuff in real time and just see how the machine responds. Some of the most interesting stuff that we haven't even touched upon are asking the machine for philosophical images. For example, I need love. What does it look like? I want love to look like. What does it look like as a Picasso painting? So rather than giving it super specific, I wanted a blue bear and a rabbit, right? You can go abstract. I want the goddess of onions, right? And it will, and see what it comes up with. A goddess of onions. It's made out of marble. I mean, whatever, right? It doesn't. You can use abstracts and see what the AI comes up with, and it's pretty cool, and it's a lot of fun.
It sounds like it is, guys. We're going to definitely get this. So I'm going to try to get him back in sometimes towards the end of January. We'll be on Roku by then and set up. So, but while we're thinking about this, ladies and gentlemen, y'all all have my email at iCarCox.net. Send whatever ideas you think. I'll create a file for Jeff Weiner and I'll put it over there and we'll keep it for the next time he's on. But now while we're on that, so dun, 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 dun. Let me see if it's going to show it up. There she blows. Okay, let me get out the way because I'm in the way. So this is Darth Raven, his lightsaber, this purple one. We're going to be giving away. It normally lists for $5.99. Yes, the Obi-Wans we gave away were listing for $8.99 each. So for some reason, this thing is giving me trouble at night when it's listing, but it must be because I got it's not on Google. That's why. StreamYard prefers Google's. I was on the wrong method, but get out here, check them out. So I'm going to give this away in 3 books, 36, 37, 38, and his will be in there. So it's the 5th person who writes into me tonight who knows what story that Jeff illustrated for. Okay. So if y'all send me the story tonight, because I know I probably won't get to it, but I will hit y'all back sometime tonight. But be sure you send me the story. Or and if it's not the 5th, whoever's the first person after the 5th to give me the title of the story that he drafted that photo for. That artwork for. I'll send it out to you. Now, before we leave, if I'm going to give away 2 sets of books tonight, 36, 37, 38, I'm going to give away 2 sets to caller number 20 and caller number 25. The reason it's so late, so far back, is because I want to make sure the lightsaber people get theirs. I know we had a lot of overseas people winning lightsabers. I think 5 so far out of 12 that we've given away. So we're going to give away. So I might even, if I've got an extra lightsaber, you might even get that. Okay. So if you can tell me what year that Jeff won in Writers of the Future, that's 2 of y'all, 20 and 25. If you can tell me what year he won and the article name, the article name again, but the name of the book again, I'll give away those 6 books as well. So you got my email, iCarCox.net. Feel free to write in. Oh, I know. It's close to Christmas time. And right now we're giving away lightsabers we're giving away all the way till January 1st, but until December 21st, you will get them in time for Christmas. Oh, yes. Even if you're overseas, you'll get them in time for Christmas. So take a look at them. We have all different styles. This is Darth Raven. We've given away Anakin Skywalker. We've given away Obi-Wan's, the old movie, the new movie, and the TV series, which are all 3 are different, by the way. We've given away Kylo Ren's. We've given away Roz. We've given away what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. Obi-Wan's instructor. I don't know why his name's not coming to my head. Qui-Gon Jinn, and we've given away a lot of them. And then, oh, you mean this one? This one's going to be the last one. This is the one that was given me. I'm actually getting 2 coming in for myself. This is the last one I'm giving away. See, aircraft aluminum. All the shafts are aircraft aluminum. They're all come with fighter blades in case any of y'all want to join any of the lightsaber fighting clubs, so you can whack people in the head and stuff. Originally, when I talked to the owner about this, the guy who is doing the promotions on these, we were going to go with the glass one, so for show. But then I realized most of the people listening to these shows are going to want to whack somebody with them, so we put the fighter blades on them, which is actually extra money. But the guy's been really good so far. He has 13 of them so far we've given away on here, and because of that, he's sold probably over 2,000 now. So. I'm sorry, over 250. No, I was going to say 25, but over 250 since he's giving these away. It's a nice get back for him. I mean, they're expensive, they're pretty, they're nice. There's a lot of ones. If you want to go buy one yourself, there's a lot of different styles. That look, when I say a lot, there's a lot of different styles. Some come with noise, some don't come with noise. So, a lot of them do different things. Just check into them and look at them. Yes, but we will be giving one a day away until January 2nd. Actually, there's a couple of days in there, like Christmas Day, we're going to give 2 away. New Year's Day, we're going to give 2 away. Yes, and they're different ones. So you never know who you're going to get. It's entirely up to the guy who's sending them to us, or actually sending us the links. And I hope y'all enjoy them and have some fun. So, Jeff, any part words before we get out of here? Because I'm not going to find out who this is.
Oh, thanks, brother. I put the link there so you can download the image directly and use it if you want.
Oh, yeah, I'm downloading that sucker right now.
And any questions, give me a holler. My email is jw@jwcreative.art, or Instagram, same thing, jwcreative.art.
And if y'all are looking for somebody who does good artwork and you want to get something done, get hold to Jeff. If you just want to chit chat, look, people, don't get stupid now. I know how y'all can be sometimes. Sometimes y'all like crickets, and sometimes y'all like the mass exodus. So just, send legitimate questions. That's stuff that you could look up on the internet. What do you mean help you? Yeah, if you pay me, might help you with your software. No, indeed, we don't get that kind of stuff free away. Well, maybe if you're multi-millionaire, we might consider it. But for everybody else, look, don't expect freebies. Everybody's got to work for a living, especially in this economy. Everybody's got to work twice as hard. So think about it when you're contacting people. And he's got great artwork. He can generate pretty much anything y'all want. So keep that in mind if you're looking for something specific. I imagine he can do banners and everything else for you if you want them. So I know Glinda, you're looking. Glinda's the good witch. And she's been looking for a good witch. I wish I'd have thought about it during the show. We could have had him generate one, but she's looking for the 2 sides of Glinda is what she's looking for. The good witch Glinda and the bad witch Glinda. And by the way, Glinda was an elf. Not a witch. But anyway, we're not going to fight about it. we got to go, guys and girls. Stay tuned. Well, the Outer Realm's already on, so be sure to stop by and check out Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano. I'm not sure who their guest is tonight. I guess I could be not lazy and look behind me and see it's Dennis Stone. So go check them out. They got a lot of UK guests on them. Lately they've been doing a lot of TV show guests, like the Templars and stuff like that. They've had a lot of them on lately. So go by and check them out. Be sure you say hi to Amelia. And then don't forget, on January 25th, we have a serious show coming up. It's about I'm not going to talk about it in detail right now, but let me just say it's an eye-opener, shocking, and some of the topic matter is far, far worse than anything we usually talk about on this network. So stay tuned for that. There will be advertisement going on for that in the next couple of weeks. On that note, good night and go hang out with Amelia.